probably we will all remember.
I'm pretty sure Falcons AP Bren are gonna remember that for a very long time.
Yeah.
Right? It feels bad because technically they won in the drafts, they won in execution. It was that one moment that Udo Red Giants had, and they utilized it to take it over for themselves. So they must be seething right now. I hope they can recollect themselves as we enter the drafting phase of game number 2, and things are jumping in quite quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, what a very interesting ban for you, the Red Giants. Now I'm thinking, if you're Falcons AP Bren, are you to ban the Zask? Because definitely that gave him a headache from game number 1.
I don't know. I don't think they need to, right? I think the real question is whether or not YRG are going to adapt to the upcoming draft, because previously, I think that FCAP straight up won the draft, like through and through. There was no area in which they were really weak at, but it just comes down to like decision making at the end of the day, which is kind of odd coming in from FCAP considering the lead that they had. But you know, it's YRG, and both of them are the best teams in the world. Having the it's a game of inches between the two.
And I also want to point out as well on the note of the drafts that it felt like Falcons AP Bren put Udo Red Giants in a trap where they had to force the Lancelot pick. It wasn't the greatest picks.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with that one, right? Now, Falcons AP Brand decide to keep with the same style of bans, but Udo Red Giants, the only change that they have is with the Alpha. First pick Zask as expected. Now Falcons AP Brand, are they gonna go for the same 2 picks in the beginning?
Definitely, they'll probably go for the Roger again, and maybe I was thinking about the Edith, but they have other heroes for Flapeasy, right? So maybe a Ruby, Roger Ruby, can be used by Oakwen, right?
Roger Ruby, because previously Falcons AP Brand prioritized
Alpha Roger.
Alpha Roger,
yeah.
but also made sure at the very last picks that Flapteasy was going to get a winning matchup. I think that's a good game plan, right? Wait to the very end just to make sure that we can get Flapteasy a guaranteed winning matchup with the EXP.
All
but
right.
also pair it up with a very interesting.
Okay. They got the Harris and Minotaur because earlier, instead of the Alpha, Udo Red Giants banned out the Minotaur. Or no, it was
Turisla.
them getting the Minotaur instead.
Yeah,
It was YRG, it was Yum's hero last game.
Yeah, the last thing that they banned from Udo Red Giants was the Turisla, but they now get to pick it up for themselves, leaving it behind. So they get the Roger, they get the Turisla on their side, and we're already seeing the big cheers here because MPL MY and all of their fans here in Malaysia, they love seeing Innocent on his signature Roger.
It's scary. It's scary. But now, of course, Falcons AP Bren, they do have a chance to strike back here in the first phase. And if they do want to win it out in that EXP lane, they could prioritize something like the Edith, the CC, or the Export. Do you think they're going to pick up the EXP here before it gets banned out?
I think with the unique heroes that Flapeasy can play, they could go for a last pick EXP hero. Same with the Hylos approach earlier on game number 1.
I don't think they need to do that, right? I think at this point it's like whether or not it fits with the composition. Because if they just want to win the lane, they would just pick Export here, right? But I think that Falcons AP Brand are going back to something that they know fundamentally that it's difficult to mess up, right? Heavy team fight compositions. And now with the Farmers, they've got an insurance policy. Oh, if we fail to engage, who cares? We still have the Netherrealm.
Yeah, during MPL Philippines, so when there was a time where Environments wasn't picked at all, it was still being chosen by Falcons AP Brand, and they have high win rate. So it's more of them going to the basic strategy that they've been using, the usual Minotaur and Faramis hero.
I like that. I like that a lot because again, especially after a loss like that in game number 1, you know what? Let's not make it complicated. Simplify the plan even more. Really condense down to the things that your players are comfortable, but more importantly, can execute perfectly every single time with a hand behind their back and their eyes closed.
I'm just not sure what the junglers will use for this game. So Nolan is still open.
Hayabusa is still open as well.
Hayabusa and Nolan.
Ling is already banned out, Julian's banned out, Fanny is banned out. I mean, unless they want to go like deeper into their pockets, they can go for things like Hellcurt for an example, but even then it has its
maybe a Bane.
Yeah, even a Bane doesn't sound too bad.
So they banned out Nolan, so they are really limiting the options for the jungle. And we might see another surprise hero, but we've seen that there is a chance for a Joy to be chosen. But it was Fnatic Onyx that actually chose the Joy yesterday.
And
Yeah.
it did not work out.
Yeah.
Just want to put that out there. Technically, Lancelot is still usable if they want to go in that direction, but obviously we did see the Lancelot really fall short.
Yeah.
Coming against Falcons AP Bren, especially with the high-lows being picked up. So maybe that's one of the reasons why they've actually opted to go for FlapT's Heroes last, as Chantel put it earlier on. But it looks like Cho is going to be banned out there, setting up for something here. Grok and Cho ban. They're signifying that maybe... By the way, Cho and the Grok, they are two heroes that have really good wave clear in the mid lane.
They do. They're really useful. They're really useful, especially if your mid laner isn't exactly the greatest. Like Zask, for example, not the greatest when it comes down to wave clear compared to like Farmus and Vexana. So you supplement it with people who can take concussive blast or have abilities that help clear that wave. I think right now Red Giants are deliberating whether or not to give the Hayabusa over to Falcons AP Bren. Now that they don't have to worry about the Cho, it really just makes the assassins even more dangerous in this case. But that does... Oh, interesting.
The respect on FlapT's hero.
This would... man, I want to say that this would indicate that they want to pick up an assassin that requires the purple buff, but I mean, the Hayabusa, you can see it from a mile away coming in from Falcons AP Bren, and now that they've taken away one of the counter picks towards that Terizla, Red Giants could maybe throw this Roger in towards the jungle instead.
That's definitely a possibility. That's what I wanted to point out. The Roger is still flex, and looking at the Cho and the Grok ban, you know, I wanted to continue on to your earlier point that Red Giants can pick up the Kufra here if they still want to go that direction. Obviously, there are two picks that come up to mind. You mentioned about the concussive blast. Initially, I was like, okay, maybe Kufra to help supplement in the wave clear in the mid lane. But if they want to go for a full-on counter towards his Hayabusa, honestly, Ruby is also an excellent choice.
Ruby isn't that bad of an idea as well. There's definitely...
It's nice against a Harris, even a Ruby, even a Minotaur. Okay. Okay.
That's some hot stuff here. We're gonna see. Oh man, it's been so long since we've seen Melissa actually touch the land of Dot, and it's great against a Farmus composition because she is one of the few marksmen who are able to hit multiple targets at once.
And she also wins lane against the Harris.
Yes!
Yeah, that's true because of the range and even the zone that it can deal against a Harris. So this might be hard here for Super Marco, but another high loss for Falcons AP Bren.
Yep, this is a really good idea because now when you have that high loss, the Glorious Pathway can really mess up this Melissa. Especially, it's not like Melissa wants to like go up in front of you. She wants to kind of anchor down to get those auto attacks off. So with the Glorious Pathway, on top of having the Minoan Fury, you actually have a lot of flexibility of engaging and disengaging at awkward angles.
Yeah, now that you mention it, I can imagine how can Falcons AP Bren can dive, but also a lot of magic damage, I think, for Falcons AP Bren.
I have another question though, coming into this, like right before we get into the portal. Do they penetrate the go away of Melissa?
No, they don't. But Hayabusa says
Can.
otherwise.
As long as he is able to hit that shadow kill against Melissa.
Yep. But this is under the assumption that like a lot of the Red Giants have kind of left Melissa to anchor while all of them are moving forward. So again, some very tight margins here. I thought Falcons AP Bren were going to play a more simple composition, but instead, at the very end, they make it even more complicated to give themselves a lot of cool tools in the game. So welcome everybody. Let's jump right into it. SRG on the blue side up against Falcons AP Bren on the red side. Let's see how this is going to play out, especially that early game.
You know what? When we say about the early game, definitely Falcons AP Bren needs to win. Again, and that is because of the double down on the magic damage of the composition. They have the Harris Minotaur Firemis. The only physical damage that they have is Kaltizi. So if Kaltizi doesn't win the early game, it will be hard for them in terms of the pokes against YRG, because it means that they are more on the skill-dependent type of hero composition, not unlike for you, the Red Giants. Even Yums can deal the damage per second against Falcons AP Bren. But yeah, it's gonna be somehow a long trajectory for both teams.
Yep. I do want to talk about the specifics of the micro when it comes down to the lane matchup between Melissa as well as Harith, right? Because in general, Harith can more consistently poke out the Melissa 9 out of 10 times, and Innocent has to be extremely careful where he places Muddles. Because if he uses his dash, he also moves Muddles along the ground. But once Super Marco gets past it, like what we're seeing right here, then it opens up an opportunity for attack, forcing Yums to flick flicker away, and Super Marco can get some damage in until that cooldown comes back up.
Okay, that is interesting from Falcon Saber Ben, and probably that might be the play that I want to do in Innocence lane, because again, in terms of viability on the targeting, it would definitely be Innocent. And look at the zone from you to Red Giants just to stop TCMQ.
Wait, this is not good. This is not good because Stormy isn't level 4 just yet. The penalty zone locks down too, but forces them backwards. The guy's gonna take advantage of this timing just to blitz down the turtle. Now Kyle TZ misses out his own tempo, but it allows this play to happen as Ogun hops over the wall, has to use the Minoan Fury to disengage, and Flap TZ and as well as Few just not in position.
You know what? During that time, I thought Falcon Saber Bren will win that team fight if ever it was forced earlier by a YRG because of the positioning, right? But because of the advantage of YRG on the river side, it was actually them winning that team fight because they shifted their attention on taking the turtle so that they have the kit against Falcon's AP Bren if they force a team fight. So right now, YRG just placing themselves on the areas that they know they will win. As to why it's Ogun actually struggling on giving vision for his teammates.
Yeah, I think it's very dangerous for Ogun to walk up this early on.
Yep.
Until he hit, like prior to this, if he doesn't have the Minoan Fury, he has no guarantee of surviving Yums if Yums decides to, all in him onward into Earth Shatter plus 2 extra members from YRG. So I get the perspective from Ogun why he doesn't want to open up the map now, but as soon as he gets his first couple of items, that's when you're expecting him to get more aggressive based off of the lane priority, but more importantly so, the lane leads being generated by both of our side laners from FCAP.
That is true. So we could see now that for this teams, they are a bit slow first on positioning themselves. They don't want to give that information first between each other. That is mainly because they want some of the players to be part of the team fight. Oh, a nice play check, by the way, for Yubsi. He has to be safe. That's part of the instinct of being a pulse 5 player as much as possible. You don't want to use some of the skills for not checking brushes against the other team. So Falcon Sapi Bren not giving again that idea to YRG that, hey, we'll set up a play in this area, let's go in this area. But YRG one step ahead against Falcon Sapi Bren.
Yep. For now, though, this next turtle is going to be an interesting fight. Everybody needs to get involved in this one.
Ooh.
We'll see that Hayabusa does need his purple buff, but now Cram forced the flicker out pretty early on. And even the Purify forcing Few to use that Nether Realm. This is a huge advantage for you, the Red Giants now. But instead of taking this fight, instead of threatening the turtle, they're just going to back away from this because look at the motions across the map. Isle does get his purple, but he's not going to contest this turtle for as long as possible.
I really love how Stormy uses his skills because he zones out Few. That Nether Realm was really crucial on this turtle take for Falcon Saber Bread. But the nice thing is that for FCAP, they are complementing that usage. But wait.
Minoan Fury onto just one, and so far Muddles is doing a lot of work, melting away at Ogun as well as Slap TZ at the same time. Allowing guys to find the kill into a second first blood for the side of Yudu Red Giants, allowing Skies to double kill.
Oh wow, it's just YRG dominating that team fight against FCAP. Again, the range of Innocent is there. Nice usage of the go away right in front of the glorious pathway. It's as if no entry. Go away. This is our place. Why are you even here? During that moment, so YRG's on the lead. They got the turret at the bottom lane, and at the same time, this is where the damage of Falcon's AP Bren is somehow struggling. It's really hard for them to burst a player from YRG. Few isn't part of the lineup. Probably Super Marco's item isn't that prosperous yet. So they have to wait for things for them to be effective.
Oh, now Yums gonna get caught out here. Uses the Primal Wrap very early on as Kyle TZ is trying to zone out.
Oh, wow.
Shadow kill is looking good though. Even the Lycan Pounce gets him out of the last tick, and Flap ends up dying here. Yums finally dies as we do see Super Marco with his Ammon Force trying to find a trade backwards, but doesn't find the right targets. Innocent walks away. That Inspire really making him a threat.
YRG definitely winning all team fights against Falcon Sapi Bren, and after the team fight, they went straight on taking other objectives against FCAP. So FCAP now again, they need to force the game to slow down a little bit. It's gonna be hard for them. Again, not enough damage on longer team fights. Even the skills here from Cram can deal this damage against Kyle TZ. So as much as possible, they want to single out a specific lane, probably destroy a turret at the top lane. It's just the turret objective, but you can see two first-tier turrets taken here by YRG.
Yeah, penalty zone coming out on top of few. Doesn't get much done here. Cram, he's a little low, but he hasn't been in lane for a very long time. He might need to reset because Falcon Safety Brand have some tempo and priority over this neutral objective. Nightmaric spawn, put down to low. Stormy quickly dropping into Dominator's descent, and now no one has been caught off. Called quick. Somebody needs to take this away. Finally, KalTC secured that turtle and glorious pathway to get the heck out of there.
Okay, so for Falcon Saber Brand, it's good that they were able to secure that turtle, and they used first the Disperse Stomp just to force another Dominator's descent for Stormy to back away. So there was a threat on the Zaska, hence Falcons AP Brand winning that turtle. But yeah, Yudo Red Giants still on the lead on this one. They are literally all over the place. We see some setups from Cam. Up against 3 though at the purple area.
Yep, penalties only get himself out of there. Ends up losing his flicker, but so far it just goes to show that the composition from SRG is really good at dealing with a full frontal assault from Falcon's AP Bread, right? We see that Super Marco losing his Purify. We're seeing Flap having to use that Revitalize very, very early on, and most of the time Ogwin has to really be careful when he decides to use his ultimate and then flickering after it.
You know what, I think I haven't seen Owen use that ultimate actually for their setup play. It's more of him saving himself from the threat from Yudo Red Giants, and that is also because of the items not on the tanky side yet. Even the Dominance Eyes isn't available for a Flap PC, so it's kind of hard for them to force a team fight against Falcon Saber Brand. Hence, they are trying to stretch this game in a way wherein Kyle PC can go for the split push, but again, Yudo Red Giants, they know their ways on how to stop that play from our idea from Falcon Saber Brand. Good thing though, for a few, he has the glowing one. He needs those pokes as early as possible against the players of YRG.
Yeah, I think that FCAP, as of right now, if they play front to back, it's not looking good for them overall. And I think so far, if they group, the problem is that even if they want to group together, they get punished by Innocent super hard in these types of team fights. I think that Falcon Team Brand, if they want to be able to make something happen, they've got to split up the members of YRG. Yep. That's why we're seeing Kyle TZ like dragging out this game by split pushing on his own side, and Yudo Red Giants are swapping between the members, rotating them around to cover the side lanes.
That's true, I agree. Now that you've mentioned the word forced, probably they can force the ultimate of Stormy first, just in case. Oh wait, not PC.
Yep, the Minoan Fury is coming out, but Flap is still going down. The Netherrealm does not save him in time as penalty zone catches the back line. Open flickers away, and Super Marco has no space to play at all as SRG decide to run down Few.
Somebody has to stop Stormy and using that Dominator's Crescenta. All along I thought that is going to be the target here for Flap PC using that glorious pathway, but it was just a go away that was forced to be used. After that, when they saw that the Law and Order was used, here comes the ultimate from Stormy, and then the players of YRG jumping on the players of Falcons AP Brand. So still, I think for Falcons AP Brand, they are struggling on who is the better target for them prior a team fight, because they have this play in mind, but they can't secure a kill against YRG.
I mean, I can't blame the decision done by Flap there, right? He sees the Primal Wrath come out. He runs at Innocent to break, to at least force him to use to go away. And now we might just be in another fight as the sieging is looking really good for SRG. They chunk out Super Marco. He doesn't mind because he has to stay with the help of Ogwin. But look, they're just wrestling them for control in the jungle. Every one of these buffs is Falcon's AP Bread having to fight a full war just to get it.
Now look at the formation earlier of YRG. I can really say that this Melissa is perfect for this lineup of Falcon's AP Bread. They can't even use the Netherrealm as easy as possible because they just go in for that damage from Melissa. the splash damage. So it will be hard for them in the clearing of Beacon Wave. And speaking of clearing of Beacon Wave, there's no real hit from Falcon's AP Bren.
Look at them. Innocent is just harassing them underneath the tower, and even the Nightmaric Spawn just covering the side angle, so Falcon's AP Bren cannot walk up for free. Look at the damage as he melts them down with the help of his Fire Platini goes down to Sakai as they open up this fight. The go away has been dropped, trying to peel them away. But look, it's Sakai. He wants more. Sky Piercer already giving him minion, and that's a triple already. God damn, just take him out. Maniac secured, and it's one, of course, Cram, ruining it altogether.
It's only few to defend though.
I mean, what can he do? He can try.
Yeah.
They just have to split up. Don't get hit by too many of these. Who's coming up next? Owen is coming up in one more second.
is now available, and even Super War. So it's still an extended game. An extended game. YRG just standing there and tell Falcon Saber we are on the lead.
Oh, the go away from Innocent just says, no, your glorious pathway means absolutely nothing to me unless you are going to commit harder than what you are right now. Holy Glaive already purchased to buy Stormy. Sorry, Divine Glaive. This is quite the match. I wasn't expecting you two Red Giants to adapt it this way.
And this fast from that very long game, from game number 1. And they didn't even change that much. Just the sequencing of the ban and prioritizing on banning the alpha. But yeah, YRG is playing really well on this one. You can even see Innocent on that Sea Halberd now on full. No, I thought it was on full item. He just went in for an item that is on the physical defense. But this would probably be an immortality later on, more on the safer side right after the go away. If everyone dive against me, I still have the immortality. I'm prepared for everything that you will throw to me.
Yep, he's willing to die for it. Cram trying to zone them off, but so far, Innocent is doing a phenomenal job with the muddles to keep Falcon's AP Bren in check. Falcon's, the only way they can force it is by committing all in. Flickers, Minoan Furies, everything. Cram and Sky is still trying. Sky gets stripped down to below 50% of his HP. Muddles is going to draw the line in the sand, but now that it is gone, oh, I know. We're not seeing Stormy actually dropping down the Nightmaric Spawn too soon. He is just layering it on top of Muddles, and View is getting rid of it as soon as it spawns. Now, this Lord Dance, here we go. The back line now getting attacked here. Right, Warrior's Pathway is already down. Lap is going to die no matter what here, but Stormy tries, and he goes right into the Dominators Descent as we see the rest. Open finally using the ult, but it's too late. All of it, this was a botched engage from Falcon's AP Bren. Did they get distracted? Everybody's abilities came out so in sequence, one by one, not together.
I think for Falcon's AP Bren, there was a miscommunication all along. I thought that they will help Flap Easy to single out a specific player from YRG. It felt like they were aiming for Stormy, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't go anywhere near Stormy, hence the usage of the Dominance because Crab is down. But yeah, they have the Lord still for YRG. And look at the damage against Innocent. No one else comes close to him. Not even Kyle Teasy can go up close to him.
He really can't. Like, Kyle needs to find Innocent all by himself to get maximum value from his Oki Shadow kill. I don't know. I still can't get the image out of my mind. What the heck happened there for Falcon's AP Bren? I know they were put in a tough spot, but even when they're fighting his 4, that was by far the worst fight we've seen from them this entire tournament.
It was like a rehearsals wherein they are shown where to go on stage.
It was like a
doing
pit
the entrance.
check.
Am I going here? Should I go here? Something like that. It's really a miscommunication there for Falcon's AP Bren. It's something that they don't want to do for the next team fight because if not, YRG again will exploit their error. Look at Duke's position, by the way, at the middle lane.
Yep, he's trying here, but the Oki Shadow kill is going to chunk out both Stormy and as well as Innocent. Falcon's AP Bren alleviate some of the pressure by utilizing a couple of their ults. They're still missing some inhibitors, but it's not the worst thing in the world. At least we're getting towards the end game where we're expecting to see full item builds from the members of Falcons.
Oh, so I thought that earlier Innocent was gonna go for that immortality, but is towards the Rose Gold Meteor because he has the kit for the lifesteal. Yeah, he has the lifesteal, so it is gonna be easier for him to be staying longer on a team fight. Yeah, 15-13, and look at that damage again on those splashes. Falcons here with the counter.
The penalty zone comes in to try, but the Purify from Few is going to keep him alive. His backline is getting attacked. Minoan Fury hits on all 4 of the members, but nobody can touch Innocent. His Inspire melts right through them. He hasn't found a single kill, and with Cram down, Falcons AP Brent forcefully wrestle for control.
Oh my god. Falcons AP Brand are really struggling to find Innocent. It was a decent setup play. It was actually a good setup play.
Very good.
From Oakwood. It just so happened that they can force a kill against Innocent. Innocent is at 2-0-11. If in case there is a damage from Falcons AP Brand, he will just back away, do some damages, and the life is back because of the lifesteal, right? So this is where the struggle of not having a burst damager is for Falcons AP Brand. It's just Kyle TZ that can single out Innocent, but after that, if the shadow kill isn't sufficient, then it's gonna be Red Giants' time.
Yeah, no, definitely after seeing Falcons win the trade in that full-blown team fight, it gives me a little bit of hope that Falcons are still locked in to try and turn this around against the Red Giants. We see the angle now of how this fight needs to play out for Falcons AP Brent to really get an advantage, but now the Lord Dance begins. Both sides still looking for the opportunity to recreate the scenarios that are most ideal for their team composition. Red Giants need to make sure that Falcons AP Brent do not get into their backline. They've drawn the line in the sand, and we've seen this happen before. They drop the Nightmaric Spawn. Afterwards, they throw out Muddles, and I think that Innocent, recognizing that he's not as healthy as he should be. Without the Winds of Nature, the Oki Shadow Kill really starts to show how much damage it does. They gotta back away. Kyle still trying to poke a prod.
I think they're just fighting the players here of YRG, but they're going for the fast lord.
Here comes from the Blitz, and Sakai secures it. Glorious pathway. Oh wait, no, Stormy, he gets out! He doesn't make it into his Nightmaric Spawn in time! He ends up dying because of that!
Okay, so for Red Giants, they sacrificed the Stormy for them to be able to have their minion wave against Falcons AP Brand. But it was actually Falcons AP Brand securing a kill against YRG, even though majority of the minion wave of a YRG is flowing against them. So now I think for Stormy, he thought that there's gonna be a team fight after the usage of the Glorious Pathway, so he used the Dominator's Crescent just to be prepared. But the Falcons AP Brand was ready against him. But the good thing is that for YRG, they can still wait for Stormy, although the timing might be a bit delayed because the Lord will march in at the top lane.
There is still an animation cast time for the Dominator's Descent when you want to go into that Nightmaric Spawn, and I think Falcons AP Brand exploited that, just bursting down the Nightmaric Spawn, leaving Stormy out to dry. But here we go. The Lord going to be cracking down towards the base. SRG looking for an angle in. They're really good at sieging, and once Muddles is down, we see that Flap TZ wants to get involved, quickly dropping up the Glorious Pathway to give his team some space and time to kill that Lord. Here we go. Flap, he's trying to get in, but Kyle gets into that backline. Minoan Fury does come out. Innocent is all by himself, and he has to win this. He finds the kill out towards Kyle TZ's side, and the front line now starts to melt, and Super Marco finds Innocent, and it's all up to him to stop the 4 members. It's too late. Red Giants push past him. That's going to be a 2-0 sweep for your world champs.